When Emma looked at me that night and said, "He makes me happier than you ever could," something inside me quietly gave way. There was no shouting, no anger, no chaos, just a faint cracking inside my chest, like fragile glass under pressure. I nodded because I couldn't find the words. Deep down, I knew the fight was already over. She had chosen someone else. For 3 years, I believed we were building something lasting. We had our little routines, coffee every morning, lazy Sunday breakfast, impromptu road trips. I thought those small moments meant something real. But one man was enough to unravel it all. His name was Ryan. I'd met him a few times at her office. The kind of man who could charm a whole room with ease, who knew exactly when to laugh, when to touch a shoulder, how to make someone feel seen. I told myself I was overthinking it. I wasn't. When Emma finally told me that Ryan made her happier, I didn't argue. I simply said, "Then I hope he keeps doing that," and walked out. That night, I packed a bag, called my brother, and crashed on his couch. For weeks, I moved through life like a shadow, barely eating, barely sleeping, just existing. People love to say time heals everything. It doesn't. It just dulls the pain until it becomes something you learn to carry. I threw myself into work, started working out again, even learned to cook something other than takeout. Slowly, piece by piece, I started feeling human again. 7 months later, just before midnight, my phone lit up. It was a number I knew by heart. I should have ignored it, but curiosity got the better of me. Her message read, "Hey, it's me. Can we talk?" It sat there, small but heavy. Against my better judgment, I replied, "Sure. What's going on?" She asked to meet the next morning. I showed up early at the cafe we used to visit, half expecting her not to come. But she did. She looked different, tired, older somehow. The glow she once carried was gone. "Hi," she said softly. "Hey." For a while, we talked about meaningless things, work, weather, family, avoiding the truth hovering between us. Finally, she took a deep breath. Ryan and I were not together anymore. I stayed silent. He lost his job, started drinking. We fought constantly. One day, he just left. No message, no goodbye. He left me. Her voice cracked. Part of me wanted to feel sorry for her. But the part of me that spent nights wondering why wasn't enough felt nothing. "I'm sorry," I said calmly. She looked up, searching for something, comfort, forgiveness, anything. "I thought I was doing the right thing," she whispered. "I thought he was what I needed, but I never stopped thinking about you." I had imagined hearing those words so many times, but now they didn't move me. "You told me he made you happier," I reminded her. "I was wrong," she said, her eyes glistening. The cafe suddenly felt smaller, like the walls were closing in. I realized I didn't want her back. I just wanted peace. "Why now?" I asked. "Why reach out after all this time?" "Because I miss you," she said quietly. "Because I need you." I studied her for a long moment. She was trembling, staring down at her untouched coffee. Once, I might have seen this as my chance to fix things. Now I just saw a memory. "Emma," I began gently. "When you left, I tore myself apart trying to figure out what I did wrong. I kept wondering if I should have been more fun, more interesting, more something." "You didn't do anything wrong," she said quickly. "I was just chasing something new." "Exactly," I replied. "You thought happiness was excitement, but it's really about building something steady. And you traded that for a spark." Tears filled her eyes. I know I was selfish. "But please, Mark, can we start over?" Those words once would have broken me. Now, they just sounded like echoes of a past life. "I can't," I said softly. "Not because I hate you, but because I finally learned how to live without you." Her lips trembled. "You're seeing someone," she guessed. I nodded. "Yeah, her name's Claire. We met at work. It's still new, but it feels peaceful." Emma froze. Realization washed over her slowly. Not anger, not jealousy, just a painful understanding that she was too late. "You've really moved on," she whispered. "I had to," I said. "You told me someone else made you happier. I believed you." She wiped at her tears. "I thought he'd love me the way you did." "Love isn't supposed to be perfect, Emma," I said. It's supposed to be real. We sat in silence. Two people who once shared everything, now reduced to strangers with shared memories. I'm sorry, she murmured. I believe you, I said, but that doesn't mean we can go back. Her shoulders slumped. As we stood to leave, she hesitated by the door. I hope she makes you happy, she said. She already does, I replied. That was the last time I saw her. A few weeks later, Claire and I were at the park, throwing a stick for our dog under the sun. She laughed, the light catching in her hair. You look miles away, she teased. I'm good, I said, smiling for real this time. You deserve it, she replied, bumping my shoulder playfully. And for the first time, I believed it. That night, my phone buzzed again. A message from Emma. I really hope you're happy, Mark. I mean it. I looked at it for a moment, then turned off the screen. I didn't need to reply. 7 months ago, I walked away broken. Now I walk forward whole. Sometimes losing the person you thought you'd spend forever with is the only way to find yourself again. Emma showed me what love isn't. Claire showed me what it can be. And when people ask if I'd ever take Emma back, I just smile and say, no. Some chapters aren't meant to be rewritten. They're meant to be closed.